Hello boys and girls, and welcome to today's tutorial on how to make a Clayotic mini monster and a Clayotic elephant. I'm Louise, I'm the founder of Clayotic. Clayotic is the first Irish brand of modelling clay. It's non-messy and it air dries. It doesn't stick to clothes, carpet or hair, so whatever you make you get to keep. If you don't like what you make, you just put it back into the container. So it's a really good product. I'm going to just show you now a few little characters that I made in the past with Clayotic. So here's the first one. It's a little pencil topper. It's cute, isn't it? Little googly eyes. See? That's one. The second one is a little cow. So it has a skewer on the head, so it rotates. So it gives it more animation and more life. That's the second one. Here's another little example of a creation. I actually put it onto a ring. So Clayotic is fantastic for making jewelry. It's really good for earrings, and as you can see, it's really good for rings as well. Okay, and then I also upcycle and recycle using Clayotic. So there's a little pirate, and we attached him onto an empty plastic yogurt container. It's really good for upcycling, and just to bring new life to unwanted plastic. This tutorial is brought to you by Laois County Council and Laois Library Services. Now, as I said, today we're going to make the little mini monster from Clayotic. So that's one of the tutorials. Okay, I hope you like. Cute, isn't he? You can see him there. And then the second one is a little Clayotic elephant. So they're the two characters we're going to make today. I'm going to bring down my screen and let's get playing. So as long as you can see my hands, that's the main thing. Okay, so you can see my hands there. So this is the character we're going to do now. It's our little mini monster, as I said. So in the packs that you got, you would have got green, purple and orange. So I'm going to ask you to take out the green. You would have got eyes as well, sorry, and a little skewer. So I'm just going to ask you to take out the green first. And I'm going to get you to stretch it and fold it. You're just stretching and folding it just to warm it up a little bit. Now, we need to know 3 shapes to make anything from Clayotic. So the first shape is a ball. So the way I do my ball, I do it in the palm of my hands, but you can also do it on the table, whatever way you feel comfortable with. That's the main thing, okay? So you're aiming to get a nice wrinkle-free ball. So I'm just going to hold mine up to the camera so you can see. See, mine is quite wrinkle-free. Now, when you're happy with the ball, put it on the table and you decide where the halfway mark is. This is the second shape, is called a droplet. So you have to decide where the halfway mark is and put pressure on one side and go over and back like this. Over and back, over and back. So that's the shape we're after. It's called a droplet because it looks like a teardrop or a raindrop. See? Like that. That's the kind of shape we want to achieve. The droplet. It's very simple. But it takes a little bit of practice. So you practice that, side with the halfway mark and roll over and back. I use this side of my hand here. Now the third shape is a sausage. So that's simple, over and back like this, over and back. So they're the 3 shapes basically, boys and girls, that you need to know to make anything from Clayotic. So they're very simple: ball, the droplet and the sausage. So you practice that there. And we're going to start with the body, the main body of the monster. So keep the green out. He's all wibbly wobbly, my little guy there. I'm just going to keep him up there for 1 minute. He's got a little bit of pressure on, yeah. Now, so we're going to ask you to get your skewer out as well. And we're just going to go back. So stretch and fold, always stretch and fold, just to, again, make it a little bit more pliable. Okay, then into the ball. So we're practicing our shapes. So into a ball. And we're going to roll it back into the sausage and divide it into 2. So there we have the sausage, and then we're going to divide it into 2. over and like in and around there. So that amount. So you want two equal amounts. And there's my skewer jumped on my knee. So that's the kind of thing we're looking for. 2 equal amounts of green. Okay. So one of these are going to be the main body of our little monster, if you can see here. So basically the monster body, it is a droplet. If I'll turn it around here, you might be able to see it better. It's a droplet. So we're going to do our droplet now for the monster's body. Okay, so get one of the halves and roll it into a ball. See, you want it again. Remember I said wrinkle free as you can. So around that size there. And you're going to get this side of your hand, remember I said, and you're going to roll it into a droplet. So pressure on one side only, so you have a fat bottom and a skinny top. So that kind of a shape like that. Okay, it's very simple, isn't it? But effective. That's the shape there for the body of the monster. Okay. Now this other half is going to do his legs, his arms, and the base of his head. So the legs, the arms, and the base of the head. So that amount there, again, we're going to roll into a ball and we're going to divide it into 2. Everybody do that? Using your skewer, divide into 2. You want it equal as you can get. Okay. So this is the equal amount, so there and there. Now, I'm going to ask you now to put one of those sides away. Just forget about that and keep that one out. And this is going to be for his little legs. So I'm going to just hold it up to the camera here and see his legs are a sausage, just a long sausage. So 2 legs, 2 sausages. So the bit that we kept aside there, we're just going to again roll into a ball and divide it into 2. So you want 2 equal legs, like that, and into 2. Now, and then you roll one of them into a sausage and then the other one into a sausage. Okay, so we have our body and we're working on our legs now. So into a ball. I'm doing my ball here, as you can see, on the tabletop. So I just feel more comfortable with it because it's a small amount. So I'm happy enough to do it on the table. And then you roll into a sausage like that. And then the other one, the same for the other one, into a ball and into a sausage. And they should be even. So just remember, boys and girls, when you're making arms or legs, start off with a larger amount, divide it into 2 so that they're equal. This little guy is going to have big enough legs, but it'll add to the animation look to it. Okay, so it's like that. And then we're going to get our tip of our finger there and we're going to put a little bit of pressure. That, and the same for the other one here. 2. Okay, so then we have the little body and we're going to put our legs underneath like that and the other one underneath like that. So you have 2 little legs sticking out from underneath his body. So you want something right like that there. Okay, so we're doing good. So there are the 2 little legs done, and we can use our little skewer now and we can just give a little indication of indents for his little knees. It's just something like that. Okay. Now, with the green that we set aside, this is going to be for his arms and the base of his head. Okay. So again, we're going to roll into a ball and we're going to divide it into 2. This doesn't have to be that exact. It's just, we just want to keep half of it for his head. And this is the bit here we're going to work on for his little arms. So that's going to be enough for the arms. That's going to be enough for the little head. Okay. So then roll this. So we're going to do the arms now. So this is the arms we're doing of our monster. And if anybody out there can see, it's actually an extended droplet. So it's like a droplet, but a little bit longer. So keeping that green member aside for the base of his head. There's a bit for the arms. Divide it into 2. So you have 2 equal amounts. And you're going to make 2 little droplets for the arm of our monster. So into a ball. And then we're going to roll a small little droplet like that. See, I'm using this part of my finger here for the little arm. So stretch it out like that. So a fat bottom and a skinny top. So that's one little arm done. Same for the other one. Into a ball. I'm just going to do this one in the palm of my hands just for a minute. See the way I vary? You don't have to do it always the same way. I'm just going to put it in the palm of my hands here. And then a droplet. We're putting pressure on one side, remember, using this finger here. They're two little arms. They're very simple. Like that, okay? And that one. Okay. So I'm not just going to stick them on just for the minute. I'm just going to leave them there, just there. And then I'm going to do the base of his head. So into a ball again. So it's a ball. And we're going to use the thumb and put a little bit of pressure into the middle of the ball like that. Okay? So there's a little hollow almost in the center. See the way there? Like that. And I have a natural little crease there, and I'm actually going to keep it. I'm just going to make it a little bit more obvious like that, just so there's a little crack in the center. You don't have to do it, but I'm happy enough just to go with that. It's a natural crease, and I'm going to use it for my design. Okay? So there are the arms, and that's the base of the head. So again, we're doing brilliant. We're doing really good. We've got the legs on, we have the body, we've got the arms started, and we've got the base for the head. So we're doing very, very good. Okay. So I'm not going to stick any of these yet on, so please don't do that. We're going to just go on now to our purple. So take out the purple. Okay, so that's the amount of purple I have. But again, we're going to divide it up because we have lots of little parts of purple we need to use for our design. So that's the larger bit of purple. And we're going to divide it into two. So remember, try and get as equal as you can. We have equal amounts. Okay. Now, I'm just going to put these little green bits aside. So please don't attach them on just yet. Just keep them to the side for a minute. And we're going to concentrate on our little feet here. So see the little feet? Here. So basically, when you look at the shape, it's a droplet, but it's flattened. It's a very important shape when you're model making, a flattened droplet. So we're going to just put that half aside for a minute and just use the half, one of the halves basically, okay? Now for the feet, so this part here is going to be used for the feet and for the fingers and for little bits of accessories for the horns and stuff. So I'm going to ask you to take half, go half again. All about half, so you have to be good at the maths for model making as well, boys and girls. So there's half of that, and we're going to use that for the feet. So that's going to do 2 feet. Can you see? Yeah, and they're going to be big enough feet. They'll just add to the little character of the mini monster. So we're going to divide that into 2 again. So we have 2 feet. So always remember, do a larger bit and divide into 2 to get equal amounts. It's like that and that. Okay, so that's our feet we're going to work on now. Put those bits away that we're not using. So into a ball, into 2 balls, and then 2 droplets. Okay. Now see the way even mine, it's not even. So I can make mistakes. I'm doing this 10 years, boys and girls, but I can make mistakes as well. I'm just going to add a little bit of extra onto the other one because that wasn't even. I want to try and get them as even as you can. If you want to have one big foot and one little foot, so be it. But I'm just trying to keep it equal and to teach you a few little tricks. So I'm going to go into a ball, and then a droplet, and then flatten it. So that's the kind of shape you're after. See? That little flattened droplet for the feet, into a ball, into a droplet, and then flatten it. So there are 2 little flattened feet there. Okay? Oops. Like that and that. Whee! Jumping everywhere, my one. So that's good, we're doing well. So that's the little feet done. But if you can see on my character here, I've added a few little paw pads and little orange toes. They're all orange. So I'm going to ask you to take out your orange, okay? And we're going to do, so just look at the orange I have around that amount, but I'm going to take this amount here. So look at very small amounts, but that's going to do our 2 little paw pads, okay? So it's very small. So into a ball, I'm going to put the orange back just for a minute, just just not to get confused, into a ball, and then divide it into two because you have two little paw pads, and make these little ones here. So they're a little circle, simple, into a ball, flatten it. Look at, boys and girls, very tiny amounts, very tiny, don't, because we need a lot of that orange, so just put it in like that. I'll show it to you now. So that's what we're after, for the little paw pads. Very simple. Okay, that's one done. And then the next one, into a ball, whoops, flatten it, look it, and put it in at the around there. You can go up or down. I'm putting mine down, okay? Like that. So that's going to be the two little paw pads for our feet. Very simple. I'm going to ask you to take out more of the orange now, and we're going to do 6 little toes. So very simple, but don't take a huge amount, around that amount. So look at, I still have quite a substantial amount of orange left. I've taken around that amount, and you're going to roll it into a sausage for me, please. Everybody do that. Into a little sausage, look at. And we're going to make, how many toes do I have out there? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 in total. So I'm going to ask you to divide this little sausage into 6 amounts. So there's 2. And then I'm going to do 3 little toes on this side. So that's 1, 2, 3. Whoops. And then 3 on the other side. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I'm going to then roll each of these little bits into a ball. Look at they're tiny, they're really tiny. I'm going to use my little skewer to hold it up like that and then put it in. So 1, 2, and 3. 1, there's the other one, good, and then put it on there. 3 little toes on each foot. You can go more, you can go less, but just I'm going to do the minimum of 3 anyway. You can do more, as I said. There you go. So look at 3 little feet, but 3 little toes on the feet, and then 3 on the other side. 1 would be there, 2. Whoops. I'm going to put them there, 2, and then 3. So, something like that. It's effective, isn't it? It looks like a real monster feet, doesn't it? Okay. So when you're happy with your feet, which I am now, I'm going to stick them on to the bottom of our monster's leg, like that. So it's upright. The little feet are facing kind of up to the ceiling. The second one like that. So I'm just going to give a side little profile. So there we have the long sausages for the legs, and then the little flattened droplets for the feet, and the little balls for the toes and for the paw pads. Yeah? So he's looking nice and monstery, isn't he? That looks good. Okay, so I'm quite happy with mine so far, but the next thing we're going to do here, boys and girls, is the belly. See the little belly, the flattened, it's a flattened droplet. Okay, so we're going to take out enough clay for the little belly. And again, you don't want to use all your orange. I need that, the other part of the orange for the teeth and stuff, so don't go mad. So only, I still have that amount left, look at. So we're in this amount, boys and girls, for the belly. So I'm just putting that orange back for a minute, not to get confused. Moving him out of the way. So this is what we're doing now, the belly. So into a ball and then a droplet. So we should be perfecting that droplet shape now. It's so important in model making, as I said. You're going to put it like that. That's a flattened droplet for the belly. Oh, sorry, it's a droplet. And now we're going to actually flatten it. So use this finger here and just put pressure on it like that. Nice pressure, nothing too hard, just nice amount. So there's a little bulge in it slightly. Now we're going to then get our skewer and we're going to make little lines into it like this, this, just all the way up. You can do it as many times or as few or as many as you wish. You are the designer of your little creation, so you can be do it your own little way, but something like that. Okay. Now, when you're happy with that, you're going to get it. I'm going to use it, lift it up with my fingers, and I'm going to position it in the center of the little belly like that. So you just put a little bit of pressure using your finger just to position. I'm just going to have to turn it around to me for 1 minute because I can't really see when I'm doing that. Yeah, that looks good. So the little belly has a few little textures there. Now, then when I'm happy with that, we're going to just pull it out, pull it out. See? We're going to pull it out like that, like that, just so that it kind of sticks on. That, and then the other side here. Like that, and like that, and like that, and like that, all the way. Okay? So you have little marks at the side and little marks. You pulled it out using your skewer. Now, if you're happy with that, which I hope you are, we're going to then go on to our little arms. So the arms are going to be attached to the side like this, and to the side like this. Okay, so there we have our arms on, we have the little belly done, we have our legs and our feet. So we're doing quite well, aren't we? Now, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to actually add on some little fingers here. So I'm going to go with 3 little balls for the 3 little fingers, okay? So we've plenty of the purple. So the smaller amount of purple that we've set aside, okay, that amount, that's going to be for the head. The smaller amount, we're going to take, I'll just show you around this amount, that's plenty. Look at, small little amount of purple. And we're going to roll into a sausage. And we're going to do, again, like the feet, or like the toes, we're going to divide it into 2, and then into 3 little amounts for the 3 fingers. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Like that. Okay. So we're going to roll each of these into little balls for the fingers of our mini monster. So that's 1, 2. So see how small they are? 2, 3. So again, we'll not worry if they're not exactly even, okay? Because we've all different size fingers on our hands. So 1, 2, and 3, okay? So when you're happy with your little fingers, you're just going to put them on. That's 1. I'm going to put a big one there. I'm going to put one bigger one on the other side. So just try, if you have a big one on one side, put a big one on the other. Just try and keep it as even as you can. 1, 2, whoops, 2 there. It's 2, and then this is 3. That. And 3 on the other side. So we have 6 all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So 6 there. Again, you can go more or less, whatever you want. Okay, but just try and keep them as even as you can. Okay, so that's where the way mine's looking so far. There's the belly on, there's the fingers on, the toes, and the feet. So we're doing good. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the head. Okay, so basically we have a smaller bit of purple and we have a larger bit. So I'm going to use the larger bit for the head. So we're just going to roll it into a ball, very nicely into a ball. And then you're going to put a little bit of pressure. It's like a little mini sausage basically. So there's the ball, and then just roll over and back like that. Like that. It's kind of like an oval shape almost, isn't it? So something like that, boys and girls. You can go keep it circular if you want, but just for my design, I'm happy to go with a little bit more oval. Okay, so it's not going to be stuck on, so please don't stick it on just yet. So you have the base, whoops, the base of the little head is there, the green part. Now I'm just going to point out here, so little teeth are going to go around this side and this side here. So again, nip back into your orange, which we still have a lot of. So you take around this amount here. Again, you don't need a large amount, so just be mindful of the amount. So I still have that left. So we're going to make this into our teeth, okay? So in my character here, he has 3 teeth. I might do more for this one. I'm going to do 5, I think, for this character. So into a sausage, okay? And again, you don't have to be too even with this. I'm going to divide it into 5. You can do 3, you can do 4, whatever you want, but I'm going to do 5. So there's 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 in total, okay? Now, again, I'm going to roll them into a ball. I'm going to keep my teeth quite kind of squarish, if you know what I mean. So there's a ball, okay? So then you can manipulate it with your hand by just squaring it off a little bit. Into the ball. And then I'm just going to square it off a little bit and put it to one side there, like that. And then you're going to go same for the other side like that. So it's 2 little kind of squared off teeth. I'm just going to hold it up. I'm going to do another one this side here. Side him, that's 2. That side, do that side. Whoops. I'm going to use my skewer now to pick it up, just to stick it there. Like that. And I'm going to do a little, I'm going to divide this into 2, just to give it 2 small little ones inside. There we go. One, whoops, it's very small there, and the other on the other side. Okay, so I wouldn't do more than 5. Maybe 5 was a bit too much, or 6 was a bit too much, or whatever you want to do teeth wise. Try and keep them this side here equal to the other side, like that. Okay. So again, we're not going to stick on our head yet. So that's the base done. Whoops, look at he's jumping everywhere. That's my teeth done of my little monster. Okay. So we have the head. I still have purple left. So I'm just going to put that with the orange for now. And I'm going to take out my eyes. So eyes out like this. So these are very good eyes. Just going to screw them in. Just put a little bit of pressure and put them in like that. You might have different type eyes. Whatever eyes you have in your pack, just use them anyway. It doesn't matter what way or what color they are. Okay, like that. He's looking good, isn't he? Now, again, we want to decorate our little head. And if you can see this character that I made, I gave him little nostrils. So we're going to get our orange and make 2 tiny little nostrils. So look at, taking my orange and we're nipping a little bit away. So like around this amount. I'm going to show you like that. And you're going to roll it into a ball and then divide it into 2 and have 2 equal little nostrils. Whoops. So just to point out again, if you have eyes, ears, feet and arms, you have 2 of each. So always start off with a bigger amount and then divide it into 2. So that's equal. And see, boys and girls, I'm not even getting that. That's not even right. I'm just going to put it back quickly together, divide it into 2, and so that they're more equal. So I can make mistakes, so don't worry about it. But we can always just redo our mistakes. Now, so there's 2 little nostrils there. Can you see? We'll put them on the black. On the black like that. And you're going to get this tool here and you're going to position it like that in the skewer and put it in nice and carefully and put it in like that. Okay, so you just 2 little equal nostrils. Yeah, okay, we're doing very good. Now for the next thing we're going to do the little horns here. So if you can see there on my example, no, you can't see there. I'm just going to put it there. See the way I have a little bit of orange and then I have the little horn sticking out. Okay. So we're going to do that now. We're going to get, again, a tiny little bit of orange. Look at it. I mean tiny because you still have a substantial amount of orange left. Like that. Okay. And then into 2. And you're going to roll them into balls. 2 equal little balls, and they're going to be the base of our horns. The base of our horns, like that. Now, and then I'm going to use my skewer and just grab it up like that and put it to the side of his little head like that. See? And then I'm going to do the other side. Put my skewer in, hold it up to you just so you can see, and then stick it to the side of his little head. Okay, so I'm going to hold him up, boy, go around, little monster, like that. So he's looking very good. So that's where the little horns will sit. Now, yes, that looks very, very good. So we still have some purple left. So we're going to just take an amount, around this amount, and that's plenty. It's 2 little small horns. So around this amount. So look at, I have this purple left, so you should have something similar. And you're going to divide that into two horns. So you put on the white, you can see it better. Again, into a little quick sausage and divide it into 2, because you want to have 2 equal horns. Again, it doesn't matter if they're not exact. And the horns are basically a sharpened droplet. So there's a little sharpened droplet like that. You want a little point, don't you? That and that. Okay. Now we're going to use our skewer again, and we're just going to make a few little slices on it if you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but I just want to show you the detail you can get with Clayotic. So into it, slicing, slice, and slice like that. Okay. And we're going to put it onto the side of where the orange went, like that. And the same for the other side. You see? You have the 2 little horns sticking out nicely, like that. Okay, so I just want to see. Now I'm going to ask you then just to position the little head, the base of the head, onto the body. So you put it in the center. So there's a pointy bit. Put that center of the head onto the neck kind of part, like that. So it should be sitting up like that. Okay, that's a bit there. And then we're going to position his little head on top, like that. A little bit of pressure there and there. I'm just going to have to turn him around just so that I can see that what way he looks, because I need to be able to see his little head. Yeah, that's actually looking very good. See, like that? Like that, okay? Now, I just want to give you a little bit of a lip around the base there of his head, just again to give it a more finished look. So I still have quite a lot of purple left. So I'm going to ask you, so that's the amount I've left. Just take a little bit away. You're just making a sausage for the lip. So into a bowl and then a sausage, and you're going to roll it out. So just have a look of where the sausage has to go from that side there to that side. So I'm just going to just do it. And with Clayotic, there's a slight stretch, so you can stretch it if it's not going to reach the full amount. I'm just going to roll it there. So something around that length, boys and girls, okay? And then you're just going to stick it at the base of the purple of the head. Okay, you don't want to hide the teeth. I'm just going to bring it from that side there to that side there. Okay, I just again have to turn him around so I can have a look and see. Yeah, that looks good. So it's the lip kind of part of our character we're doing. So like that and that, yeah? Now he looks excellent, I must say. He looks really, really good. Just again, I'm just turning around to me, boys, and then I'll turn around to you. Like that. Okay. So we're doing actually very well. We're flying through this. Now, I want to ask you then to do a horn. I'm going to do a horn in the center of my head. If you don't have space, you don't have to do it. You could stick it someplace else, but I'm going to do a horn sticking out up here. So I'm just going to do it in purple, or sorry, in orange. So look, take away around this amount. So I'm going to go, so I still have this amount of orange left. So take a little bit away for a little horn for the center into a bowl. And then we're going to go over and back for the sharpened droplet. So you should all be pros at the droplets now. There's the little droplet for the horn. I'm going to put it on my black plate so you'll see. And then you're going to use your skewer, and again, you're going to decorate it. Just do a few little lines, 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 like that, just to give it a little bit of life. It looks almost like a little carrot, doesn't it? It does. It looks like a little carrot. And we're going to stick it on to the center, in between his eyes, or if you don't have space, you could position it someplace else. Okay, so I just want to make sure that's centered. So I have to turn my little character to me first. Yep, that looks good. That looks very good. Okay, so that's kind of what I've done there in the center. Now we're going to look at the back of our little character here. So I'm going to ask you to put a little tail here, and the tail is again, it's a little droplet, okay? So I'm going to take around this amount. So I've got a little bit of, I have actually quite a lot of orange left. So I'm going to ask you to make a little tail around that size. Okay, so again, into a ball and then into a droplet. It'll just give your character more stability because we're going to position it to the bottom of his little bum, just like that, just to give it a little bit of more security for when he's sitting. And we're just going to use our little skewer and indent a few little indents just to give it a little bit of life. And then this is a tiny bit of purple. If you haven't got it, doesn't matter. I have, and I'm going to do a tiny little pointy droplet just for the tip of the tail to give it a little bit of more character. Okay, like that. So it looks like a tail. Just put it to the tip like that. And boys and girls, you'd be great at doing that. Okay. So again, I'm going to ask you to do 1, 2, I'm going to do 3 little balls here. So look at, I still have purple. If you don't have purple, don't worry about it. But I'm just going to use the amount of purple that I've left. I'm going to take around that amount away. Okay, so I still have this left. So around this amount, boys and girls, roll it into a ball, then a little sausage and divide it into 3. So these are the bases of the, see the way I have my little jaggy bits are there, but I'm going to put a little purple base in between just to give it a little bit more design edge. So look at, if you can see there, I'm going to put the purple instead of the orange. It's going to be the reverse of that. So just 3 little balls and stick them on to the back. So whatever way you want to position them, something like that. 2 and 3. Again, yous are the designer girls and boys out there, so you can design it any way you want. I have purple and orange left, so I'm going to use it. Now 1, 2 and 3. 3. So you can see there, 3 little dots for the base where the little horns of the back will go. And I've got orange, so I'm going to divide it into 3 and do nice big jaggy horns. 1, 2, 3. So this is kind of free. You can kind of design it, this part any way you want, but this is where I'm doing it, into 3 little amounts of orange. And then into the balls, then the droplet. So remember, into a ball, into a droplet, into a ball, into a droplet, and then position them on. And before actually position them on, if you want, you can do your little decoration. So I'm going to continue with little lines. 1, we'll just do 3 little lines, see, like that. I'm going to position them on like that there, and same for the other 3. So 1 little line, 2 little line, a little mark, whatever way you want to do it. 1, 2 and 3. Okay, I'm going to position it there. And then 1, 2 and 3. Again, just like that. Like little carrots again, little mini carrots for the back. Now I just again have to turn it around because I can't really see what I'm doing when I'm doing it that way. Even if I put it to the sides, you'll see there 3 little jaggy bits for the back. Okay, and I have just a little bit of orange there. I'm going to put 1 just at the back there. So if you have any left, you can decorate your little character whatever way you want. Back. So he is looking extremely good, isn't he? Yeah, so we have the eyes done. We have the little horns at the side of his head, horns on top, the feet done, the legs, the arms. So he is complete. I hope you're happy with that. Now I'm just going to position him there so you can have a little, and I'll just rotate him around. So he's good, he's scary, isn't he? That you can mix colours with Clayotic. So you're going to stretch and fold, you're going to stretch and fold. It's just a way of learning about colour theory. So it'll just blend in nicely. And this is how you mix colours. See the way it goes kind of marbly? and then you just keep on working it and it'll become one big solid color. So as I said, some of you may not have had the blue, and whatever larger amount of color, you just mix it to the half of the white. Okay. So my color is just gradually, it's just a slightly lighter bit of blue. It is not going to be a huge difference, but I just wanted to show you that you can mix colors using Clayotic. Okay. So the amount that we have now, we're going to divide it into 3. So into a ball, remember, into a ball, and then into a sausage, over and back, like this, and divide it into 3. So you, again, use your skewer that you had, and you're going to divide it 1, 2, 3. So there we go, 1, 2, 3. So they should be equal enough. You want to keep them as equal as you can get. Mix a little bit more there. Okay, so we're going to start off by making the body. So the body is, everybody can see there, it's so simple. It's just a little ball. So simple little ball for the body of the elephant. So into a ball, like this. I'm doing mine in the palm of my hands. Again, you could do it on the table, whatever you feel comfortable with. So it's just simple, boys and girls, a little ball. So that's going to be the body of the elephant. So that shows you how easy it is. Simple little ball for the body. I'm going to keep him aside there for 1 minute. Now the next bit we're going to do, so we have, remember we had the 3 parts of this. This is the second part of blue. With this second amount, we're going to make 4 legs and 1 trunk. Okay, so we roll into a ball and then a sausage, and you divide it into 5 equal amounts. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's 1. I'm going to cut that away. 2, whoops, 3, 4, and 5. There's 5 amounts. So we're going to be 4 legs and 1 trunk. Okay, so we'll do the legs first. So 4 legs. So into a ball, and then into a little droplet. So they're like that. Okay, 4 little legs like that. So 1, 2, 4 little droplets, 2, into a ball, into the droplet, 3, into a ball, into a droplet, 4 little legs. You can see them all lined up nicely. Okay, that little bit there is going to be a trunk. So again, into a ball, into a droplet, and it's going to be longer because the trunks are usually longer than the legs. So I'm just going to keep that aside for the trunk. So that's done. We don't have to touch that. But we have our 4 little legs now. Okay, 4 droplets, 4 legs. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our white that we have, and we're going to take a very small amount away, around that amount. Look at, boys and girls, nothing too large. And we're going to divide that into, we have 3 little toes there, we have 3 toes there, that's 6, and we have another 3 there, another 3 there. So that's 12 little balls of white is what we need for the toenails of the elephant. So I'm just going to get my black tray here, and I'm going to get the white that I took away and roll into a sausage. I'm going to put that bit of white away. So we were looking for basically 12 little toenails. So that's going to take a little bit of time. So you do it at your own leisure. So I'm going to divide it into 2 first, and then into 4. So we have 4 legs, 4 sets of toenails. If you look, see how tiny these are? These are small little hands. So each one of those you're going to divide into 3 again. So you have that one there into 3. So this is a little bit kind of footery. 1, 2, 3. So into a ball, 1 little toenail. So you want 12 of those little guys. 1, look at, 2, and 3. So you don't need a large amount. See, you only need a small, tiny little smidgen of white for the little toenails of the elephants, like that. Okay, and you're going to do the same for each of the other sections or legs. 1, 2, 3. 1, put it on, 2, and then 3. See that? And then we'll do the same for the other one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So see the way you're going for tiny little details now. So there's go 1 in my hand. There we go. 2, and then 3. So I've got 3 legs done with 3 little toenails. Whoa, tiny. I'm going to do the final one now. So on my tray, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So this is the most time-consuming little bit of it. 1, 2, and then 3. So there we have all our little legs with all our lovely little elephanty toenails. They're cute, aren't they? Now just position it, whoops, 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 like that and like that. So we have the body, we have the legs done. We're just not going to join anything on just yet, okay? So, and then we have our trunk done as well. So just keep that trunk aside. So the next thing, boys and girls, we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of blue away. This is going to be the head and for the ears. We're going to take it, just take a tiny little bit of blue away. So I want to keep that for the eyes and for something else. So just keep that like that, okay? Yeah, around that amount. And then with this here, we're going to divide it into, 3. So we're going to have it for the head and the ears. I have a little one there, like that, the head and the 2 ears, okay? So we're going to divide it into 3. So there's 1, 2, 3. Divide it. Just try and get as equal as you can. Again, there's not much major if you get it wrong, okay? No, we're going to scrap that. Jessica, scrap that. So with the remainder bit of blue that we have, we're going to make a little head, okay? So we're going to roll into a ball and divide it into 2. Okay, so that and that, just to get 2 kind of equal amounts. And then this is for the head and this is going to be for the ears. So we're going to divide the other half into 2 for 2 ears. Okay, so that's 2 ears and there's the head, like that. Now, so you want the little head to be a ball. So into a ball. Okay. So there's the little head. Now, we still have some of our white left. So we're going to go on to making the little eyes. So you can see the little eyes are like that. So you're going to then get 2 little eyes from this. That's plenty. So look at, I have quite a lot of white left. You're going to use that amount for the eyes. So we're going to position that there so you'll see it on the black. And you're going to divide it into 2. So remember, when you have 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes, larger amount, and then divide it into 2. Yeah, that's it. And then make 2 little eyes. So there's one there. And the same for the other one. Into a ball, flatten it. That's going to be 2 little eyes. So I just have to turn it around to me for 1 minute. Try and keep them as roundy as you can. Something like that, okay? Now, you can just nip a little bit away from the ears just to make 2 little blue parts for the eyes. So I've taken a little bit of blue from those ears and we're going to then divide it into 2. So you have 2 tiny little bits of blue for the color of the eye, like that there. There, so it's only tiny, boys and girls. It's only a tiny little amount. You don't need a huge amount. And then if you have your skewer at the ready, you can just do a little hole in the center just to give it a little bit of an impression of a pupil in the middle of the eye. So that looks good, doesn't it? That's the head nearly done. Now we're going to just keep those aside for a minute, that amount, and then we're going to put our trunk on. So we have the trunk that we made with our legs. So you're going to then just add a few little wrinkles on the trunk by using our skewer. There's a few little slices like that. And you're going to get your finger, whichever finger you're comfortable, and just kind of indent the trunk, just so that it looks a little bit more realistic like that. And you're going to position it in the middle of the eyes like that. Okay. So we still have the bits of blue left for the ears. So I'm just going to ask you just to take a little bit away of the blue, okay? And we're going to mix it with more of our white. And we're just going to mix around that and that, half of equal amounts of blue to the white, and you're going to stretch and fold. This is for the inside of the ear, okay? Inside of the ear. We're going to stretch and we're going to fold and we're going to stretch and we're going to fold, and should become a lighter tone of blue. So that's just, again, we're just learning about color theory. Over and back, over and back, over and back like that. Okay, so see, the mine's become a lovely bluey color, isn't it? Really kind of a lighter version. Okay, so we'll just keep that for 1 minute because that's going to go in the center of our ears. And then we did take enough for the 2 ears, so just divide it into 2, try and get equal amounts. There's 1 and 2. Okay, the mine are quite equal, it doesn't matter. Well, you want them equal enough, don't you? Yeah. And then when you have your balls done for the ears, you flatten them. So they're like that, flattened, that and that. 2 little ears like this. And then the lighter blue that we mixed up, we're going to divide that into 2, of course. You have equal amounts of lighter blue and put them in the center, into a ball, flatten it, that, into a ball, flatten it, like that. Okay? So we're going to just position them like that at the side, and position them that at the side like that. Okay? Now, so we have the majority of everything done here, haven't we? We do. We have the legs. We have the little belly. So I'm going to position. I'm just going to show you how we do that. So we're going to put our legs quite tight together. So all the legs, the 4 little legs are like 4 little pillars. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're all tight together to support the weight of the body. So this is my body, positioning it on nice and carefully like that. Put a little bit of pressure on. And then I'm going to have to turn his little head to me, or sorry, the front to me just for 1 minute, and then I'll position to the camera. And then we're going to position her head in the center of the little body with a little bit of pressure, nothing too much, but he's standing like that. Okay. And then I have some white left over, so I'm just going to ask you to take a little amount for the little tail. That's one thing we need to do, a little tail. I did mine white. I think it's nice just for a variety. Into a little sausage, and then we're going to twist it up like that. Okay, so it's like a little twisty white tail. And there, and there. Okay, so that concludes that little character. So I hope you are happy with that wee guy as well. I'm going to position him like that. I'm going to put my monster back like that. Now, thank you so much, boys and girls, for joining me for this tutorial. I hope you've learned a few little tips and tricks along the way, but just to let you know that Clayotic air dries, so just keep your little characters maybe away from younger siblings and pets for a day or 2, and then when they're dry you can use them and play with them at your leisure. Just a little point as well to say, keep going to the library, keep reading those books, and I hope to see us all very, very soon at the next set of tutorials. All the best now. Bye. Bye-bye.